If you like this video, click like. If you want to continue to follow our adventure, hit subscribe. Your support would be greatly appreciated. Hello, House on the Road subscribers and followers. Well, you know what today is, don't you? Yep, it's Friday. You know what that means, don't you? Yep, it's Easy 5 Friday. Today's topic is 5 of the most frequent questions that we get regarding living in a pop-up camper, or some variation around that theme, living full-time. So let's get started. Number 1. How do we find free campsites? Okay, I've made a couple videos on this, and I gave a lot of detailed information on how to find free campsites. The reality is we use pretty much just one campsite, freecampsite.net. And we really like it. It has a lot of filters. It's getting better all the time. People keep adding new places to it. You get there and you like the area so much that you want to try to stay in the area as long as possible. So what we do is when we get to that campsite, we immediately spend the first couple days trying to get to know the area, looking for a different campsite. Maybe go to the ranger's office. But we found this one, Porter Lake. Just driving around looking for 2 others actually. And it was just on the side of the road, and it's really nice, and Free Campsites doesn't have it identified. But it's got water and a bathroom and the whole deal, and it wasn't identified. So I think there's a 2-part. 1, freecampsites.net, and then 2, go around looking around, look at maps at the ranger's office, those kind of things. So. Number 2, safety. Primarily safety, security type of safety. And again, this is another subject that I've talked about a lot. The biggest thing, the easiest thing to identify is just trust your gut. And I've said that in every safety, security video I've said. If you think there's something wrong with the area, just whether you sense it or you see it, just leave. And it's just that simple. I mean, we can talk about all the security measures, that we lock up our generator and lock up our hitch and all those things that I've talked about in those videos. But it really boils down to, do you trust the area? Do you trust the people in the campsite? We've only seen one campsite that was uncomfortable to us. All the other campsites out here in the National Forest, because a lot of people say, oh, boondocking, that's really scary because there's so much bad stuff going on out here. I've not seen it, and I've been at this a year. I've just not seen all the bad stuff people talk about, that they're not going to go to a free campsite because of the security issue. It's safer in a paid site. But no, I've never had an issue other than the one that I just didn't feel comfortable in. Number 3, mail. Well, see, here's the problem with this question is I handle my mail a lot differently than a lot of full-time RVers do, and I'm going to have to change this one of these days. But for now, my mother collects my mail, and if she sees something important, she messages me, and I try to figure out what I need to do about it. We've not ran into an issue with mail for the entire year. We've not ran into an issue with the mail. The only thing that I've had to worry about is taxes and my debit card expired, and that was the only 2 things I had to worry about. And taxes, I'm just going to have my mom mail it to me, and what we can do is we can have it mailed directly to the local post office under general delivery, care of Robert Hefner, and they'll hold it for 30 days. Now, all that said, a lot of people use this paid company you pay, and there's several of them. I'm just going to mention this one, America's Mailbox. I am not going to give you all the details because I don't use it. I can't give you, I'm not an advertiser for it or anything. I'm just throwing one of them out there for you so you can do your own research. There's several. So it's just the one that stuck in my head when I researched it years ago, or a year ago. Number 3. lot of people is worried about the canvas. Say the canvas is going to rip, it's going to degrade, and you know, aren't you worried about all that? I'm not. And the reason I'm not, and every time I say this, I take a lot of criticism, but I'm telling you, it works so good for me. I have older canvas. It is 47 years old. And I thought, what the heck? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I sprayed Flex Seal on it, and it has worked perfectly. So I am going to continue this project. It's going to cost a couple $100, so I'm going to continue to do this project. I'll Flex Seal the entire outside and the entire inside, so you know UV rays can't penetrate it. It sealed it up marvelously. Now, what about a rip? Well, I'm going to do the same thing, I think. Quite honestly, I'll sew the rip. Of course, the rip's going to leak. Then I'll put a patch on it inside. You know, just temporarily put a patch on it. And then I'm going to Flex Seal the crack. And I'm going to Flex Seal the inside. And it's going to be a flawless, you won't even see it. Because that Flex Seal will just kind of smooth out, you know, all the sewing and everything. So that's what I intend to do. Number 5. When is Carolyn going to be on camera? Okay, so I had to put that one in there because it is a very common question. When I started looking at common questions and all that, that was a big one. When is Carolyn going to come on camera? It's not too likely that she's going to come on camera. When I first started this YouTube channel, I said in the very beginning that this is my channel. Carolyn doesn't want to be on it. She has social anxiety, and it's just unlikely that she's going to do it. Now, she has shown her face a couple times on live feeds. They are held at 7 p.m. on Wednesdays, every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. She has shown her face on Patreon. If you want to go and do Patreon, you can do that. She also has a blog on Patreon where she's just now getting back into it now that her daughter's feeling better. So if you want to become a member of our Patreon account, you can possibly see, well, I know you'll see her there. She posed for a thumbnail the other day on one of the videos about her back being hurt. But to be honest, it's not likely she's going to be on there. A lot of people treat her like Wilson on that old TV show Tool Time. He was always behind the fence. Well, there's Carolyn. Sometimes she'll sneak out in the background and you'll see her. But as far as her getting on camera and doing anything, talking or anything like that, just not too likely. So that's the answer to that question. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Click like if you like the video. And happy travels.